likes long intro, so we're gonna get straight into it, okay? So as y'all can see by the title that this video is about my son Keane and the real reason as to why I don't have him. So I'm gonna start off with I got pregnant with Keane when I was 16 years old. I had him with my first legitimate boyfriend, and he was completely planned. And when I say that, I legitimately mean he was planned, because I was at a point in my life where I was so ungodly suicidal, and my life was so horrible at the time. There was just a bunch of family stuff, there was a bunch of school related things, and I was at the point where I was just at rock bottom. And I was like, dude, I don't care if I were to not wake up, I don't care if I die, and as bad as that sounds, that was how I was. And it just wasn't okay. But the only one thing that kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to stay alive, keep kicking, keep going, was the thought of one day I would be a mom. And I've always loved babies. I've always loved kids. I've always loved the idea of being pregnant and having my own baby. It was just something I always loved since I was so very little. So I had a serious boyfriend. I didn't lose my virginity until a year and a half after we had started dating. It wasn't something I was eager to do. I didn't want to fall into peer pressure, and we would get made fun of it for it, but it was something that I taught myself. I wanted to give myself away to my husband when I got married, but just how high school works, and that doesn't always work that way. So we ended up talking, and I told him this is just how my life is. And at that point I was not okay. And me and Keane's father ended up coming up to an agreement of yeah, we can have a baby. I don't think he really knew the severity of having a baby. I think it was just kind of okay, whatever to him. But to me, it was this is my saving grace. This little baby, no matter what happens with me and the baby's dad, I'm always gonna have this little baby in my life. And that was enough for me. And I got pregnant, I think about 4 months after we had the initial talk. I did, at the beginning, it was inside school, I did have a very early miscarriage, and I remember that was really upsetting to me at that point, because I was what if I can't have kids at any point in my life because I'm just not able to, or what, there's something wrong with me. But it was this, I was having really severe cramping all day, and it was lasting for about 2 or 3 days, and I was maybe I'm just gonna have a really bad period. But I never had cramps like that for my period. And I ended up passing this, I don't even know what to call it. It looked like a huge blood clot kind of looking thing. And I talked to a few people about it. I even talked to an OB about it, and they were yeah, it sounds like an early miscarriage, yada yada. But that was after the fact that I'd already gotten pregnant with Keane. But that was traumatic. And then 3 months after that happened, or 2 months or something after that happened, I ended up getting pregnant with Keane. I asked for pregnancy test, and I had one left over, and I would hide it in my shoes in my closet. I had the rack, the shoe rack thing on that goes on doors. I had that on my door, and I would hide the pregnancy test in my shoes, because why would my parents check inside my shoes? That's just weird. And my stepdad at the time had a history of going through my room. He would try to find drugs in my room, because at the moment he was a drug addict, and he would use it if he found it. But I never did drugs in my entire life, and so he would always try to check to see. And yeah, so I made sure to hide him good, so I hid him in shoes. And I one night kind of just felt kind of off, and I felt kind of sure I was pregnant, but I was I don't know, I'm 16, I don't know how this is supposed to work. I can't talk to my mom about it, I'm trying to get pregnant behind her back. And that's pretty fucked up to say, but that's what I was doing. And so I walked into the bathroom. I had read the instructions. It takes about 3 minutes. You pee on the stick, you hold in there for 5 seconds, yada yada. So I did that. I sat on the toilet. I was about to hop in the shower, and then after I got done with the shower, I was gonna come back out and look at it and see what it says. Because I really didn't expect it to say positive. But as I took it and went to go set it down, I saw the line start popping up, and it was like, it was a positive, and it was like a strong positive, and I was like, no fucking way. And this was pretty close to almost summertime in my sophomore year of high school. And I started crying, and like I was more of like a happy cry. I was like, oh my God, like, because I literally was praying to God for this. As messed up as that might sound, I asked God, I was like, God, this is the only way I care to walk this earth anymore, is if I got something to do it for, and I have a motivation to do it for. And I walked into my room, and my baby's father was on the phone on FaceTime, and I told him, I was like, hey, wake up, and he's like, why are you crying, are you okay? And I was like, I'm pregnant, like, you're gonna be a dad. And he just kind of fell back asleep. Like, I guess he just didn't understand what was going on, or he was just too asleep to like really realize what was going on. But I had told him like, yo, like, I'm pregnant. And so the next day we had school, and I was like, yeah, like, seriously, like, dead ass, like, I'm pregnant. And I brought the test to him, and I showed him, and I was like, I'm so fucking excited. like legit, I'm the most excited out of anybody. And I kind of just finished out my sophomore year. I didn't tell anybody. Like, the only person I told was my baby's father, okay? And so I lived out sophomore year, and then that was at the time where I was visiting my dad and my stepmom and my siblings out in Georgia every summer. So this is after I had lost all my weight. Like, I was at like my dream bod, dude. Like, my body was so skinny, I was so fit, I looked so fucking good. And so I was nervous about that part, because I was like, I don't know how quick bumps show up if I like really am pregnant, because like I'm just going off a pregnancy test, dude, like a positive pregnancy test. And so I was living out my summer, and then I would have these little spells where like I'd get really dizzy, and then I would get sick sometimes, but it was not bad. I think I maybe got sick 4 times out of that 3 months I was at my dad's. And the sickest I had got while I was there was on my way back home to get on the plane. And I was thrown up. I was like, Dad, pull over. And he's like, are you just nervous? I was like, no, I've flown on planes 100 times. Like, I was constantly flying back and forth from Texas to Georgia, and then Texas to Bama and stuff, all types of stuff. So before I had left back to Texas from my dad's that summer, I had texted my mom, because I was kind of like this point, like where I was like at a breaking point. I was like, Mom, like, listen, I think I'm pregnant, and I don't know how far along I am, but like I'm pretty sure. I haven't had a period the entire time I was here. In a text like that, and she was kind of like, oh my God, just don't tell your dad, we'll hide it, we'll figure it out when you get back home. And so I had gotten back home, and it was really weird running into my mom, because she had to pick me up at the airport, so I was kind of quiet, and she was like, how are you feeling? I was like, I'm okay. And she had sent me up an OB appointment, and we went in there, and the OB, I love this OB, her name's Heather Caudell, and she's in Flower Mound, and she's right across from Flower Mound Hospital. I don't know if she's moved practices since then, because this was like 5 years ago, but she was the best fucking OB ever. She was so sweet, she was so caring, I loved her to death. And she was asking me, if you do find out you're pregnant, are you gonna keep the pregnancy? And I was like, yes, of course. And she had me lay down just so she can like kind of like get a feel of it. And she felt me, and she's like, yeah, you're definitely pregnant. And my mom kind of just like went like, oh shit. And I was like, yes, you know, like in my head I was like, fuck yeah, bro. But like I couldn't show that. I had to like look like oh damn, I'm pregnant, you know, kind of, so I didn't have to, you know, yeah. But she said I was around 12 weeks, and she got the heart monitor and went over my belly to see if she could find a heartbeat, and she did, and he had a very strong heartbeat. And they were like, let's see if we can slip you in for an ultrasound, because you're really far along and we need an ultrasound. I was like, okay. So I ended up getting to see my baby that day. The dad was not with me. My mom was like, let's just figure this out first. And so we got, sorry if you can hear my washer machine, it's loud as snap, okay? But she had me get into the ultrasound. We saw the baby, and me, I was so excited to see this baby. I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy, there's a baby in my belly. And she was right, I was around 12 weeks pregnant. And my mom said I had just a poker face the entire time, and that's what I tried to have. I didn't want to seem like I was like really excited. I wanted to see like this was like shocking news, you know. But dude, I was so happy, and I was like, you know what, thank you, God. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me this miracle of a baby. Like, I'm getting emotional, but that's really what Keane meant to me, dude. It's like my life, and just being able to enjoy life again, and being able to just have somebody or something to project that love onto, because like every dude in my life, I swear, has fucked me over. So yeah, once I figured out like there was a baby in there and it was real, and I got pictures, and I was like, okay, this is like legit. I was so ungodly happy, and I was like, you know what, it's nothing but up from here. And so we ended up getting myself enrolled into this thing. It's called LLC. It's a learning center, and it's basically an excelled school, so I get to graduate early, and I did. I graduated a whole year early. And beforehand, in like Marcus High School, which is just my regular high school that I went to freshman, sophomore year, I was butchering school, guys. Like, my grades were horrible, like awful. And as soon as I got to LLC and I had something to like live for and go for, guys, I had like all hundreds in my math class and my geography class, and all of my classes I had hundreds. And even in math class, I had a 105 in the grade book, but they couldn't put that on my report card because it's just not like legit. So it was great, and I was so happy. I was so excited to do my homework. I was so excited and so eager to do my projects, and I would always turn them in, and I would always do the extra credit work even though I didn't need it. I just wanted to be at the best I could for my baby, and I took such good care of myself. Like, while I was pregnant, I stuck to my prenatals. My nausea was never bad with Keane. I maybe had a few little spurts here and there, but if I would wake up and go straight to the kitchen, eat cereal or oatmeal or something, I'd be completely fine. Me and Keane's father both really wanted a boy. We both were like, yeah, I want a boy. We thought it was a girl at first, but I deeply, deeply wanted my little boy. And at 20 weeks, we went to an ultrasound, and we got to figure out he was a little man, and I was so ungodly happy, and I started like crying and tearing up. And we did not know what we were gonna name the baby. Like, I had so many ideas, but all the ideas just didn't fit. Like, they didn't feel like they fit my baby's name. We knew for sure we were gonna give the baby his father's middle name, and his father's middle name is Wayne. And so we knew for sure 100% we were gonna give him that. And I loved Wayne because at the time, little Wayne was like my everything. He got me through so much stuff, and his song How to Love was something I repeated every morning getting ready for school. And it was just, that was my artist dude. And so I was like, hell yeah, we're gonna name his middle name can be Wayne, fuck yeah, you know. And they swear to God it's not because of the rapper. They swear to God it's because, swear to God, it's the father's middle name, not because of the rapper. No, there was two sides to the story. I only liked Wayne because of Lil Wayne, okay? So let's get that clear. So at first we were gonna name him like Dakota. Grayson came up for a little while, but I was like, God, I hate these names. Like, that's not my son's name. And so I ended up posting on Instagram, and I was like, hey guys, I need some help. I'm trying to figure out a name for my baby, but I can't find anything unique enough or something I really am like falling in love with. If y'all could shoot me some ideas of some unique boy names, please, like, please drop them in the DMs. In the DMs or the comments, just let me know, right? And so this one girl, I went to middle school with her, and like, what was it, Kindness Club? It was like Kindness Club, I guess. And so we were in there, and it was just like, I don't even remember what we were doing. We were doing something. I know we made bracelets at one point, but I really don't know the point of the whole club, but yeah. So I met her in there. Her name's Annie. She was so fucking sweet, okay? And she dropped a name down in the description. It was Keane, but it was K-I-A-N. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. That is so cute. And then I kind of was like, let's play with it a little. And so then I came up with K-E-A-N-E, and I loved it. And a meaning for Keane is also warrior. And I was like, that is so fucking perfect for my son. So I was like, we're gonna do that. I had a very healthy pregnancy. I didn't have any problems. He was growing very well, and I was super excited for him. we had started buying stuff for the room. He was gonna stay in my room at my mom's apartment, so we had his crib set up. He had half of my closet, I had my half, and I was slowly just getting things together, and we had his name, it was Keane Wayne, and I was obsessed with the idea of about to have a baby. So on February 12th, I was induced in the morning, and I'm not gonna go into all the details about the birth and everything because I do plan on making a video that compares my labor stories, because I had a medicated emergency cesarean with Keane and I had an unmedicated natural birth with Ajayi, and I would like to compare those for y'all and tell y'all little tips and tricks and little yada yada here's and there's that I wish I knew before, or I wish I had the knowledge about, and just let y'all know. But I ended up getting induced at 5 a.m. on February 12th. His due date was February 19th. And I had him around 6 o'clock. I can't remember the exact time. I want to say it's like 6:12. I want to say it's like 6:12. I want to say. And I had him around 6 o'clock at night, and I was so ungodly happy. I had the emergency C-section, and I had my Keane.